Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of making a cosplay helmet with materials from Smooth On Incorporated. We're going to get into casting right now, so let's get right to it. Now for today's casting material, we're going to be using Smooth Cast 57D. This is part A, and this is part B. Smooth Cast 57D is a translucent semi-rigid plastic. We're going to begin by pre-mixing part B by giving the container a good shake. Now we're going to dispense a small amount of Smooth Cast 57D part B into a clean cup. Now Smooth Cast 57D is a translucent white material. It can be easily colored, and I'm going to use UVO black to give this translucent resin system a solid black color. Now it only takes a few drops of material to accomplish this. I'm going to mix the colorant into part B and keep stirring the material until I get a nice uniform color. Now we're going to do the same thing for part A. Again, we're going to pre-mix the material by giving the container a thorough shake, and then we're going to dispense a small amount of material into a clean cup. Now the mix ratio for Smooth Cast 57D is 1:1 by volume. Now I'm going to combine the part A with the part B. Now remember, once part A and part B touch, the pot life begins. The pot life for Smooth Cast 57D is 3 minutes. I'm going to give this mixture a thorough stir, scraping the sides and the bottom as I do this. And once I get a nice thorough mixture of the material, I'm going to take a clean cup and I'm going to pour this mixture into a clean cup and repeat the process. This will ensure that I get a thorough mix of material. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this resin material and I'm actually going to brush it into the mold cavity. Now traditionally this is where people will use a rotocast technique, where they hand rotate the mold rubber to create a hollow casting. I like to brush the resin in. I just mix up a small amount of material at a time and brush the resin into the cavity. This allows me ultimately to control how much resin material I'm going to be using within the mold cavity and where it's going to flow. And I find that this method really gives me a nice, efficient way of providing a uniform coating within the mold cavity. Once that initial layer starts to tack up, I rotate the mold and repeat the process. This again is something that I like to do for making hollow casts, because it gives me ultimate control with respect to how much material I'm going to be using within my mold cavity and how efficiently to spread that resin system within the mold. I will repeat this process several times, rotating the mold as the layer becomes tacky, and repeating that process over and over again to achieve the thickness that I'm looking for in my castings. Typically I'll do this about 4 to 8 times to create a hollow cast. Once the resin is fully cured, it's then time to demold our casting from our mold assembly. Smooth Cast 57D has an ultimate cure time of about 30 minutes. So you can easily get a hollow casting done in a relatively short amount of time. Now once we've gotten the shell removed from our assembly, we're again going to take some baby powder and we're going to coat the surface of our mold rubber to relieve the surface tension of the rubber and allow for the silicone to slide against itself as we demold the glove mold from our casting. Now when you do this, again, take your time, roll the silicone carefully back from the base of the model and invert the mold as you remove the casting from the mold cavity. So as you can see, the dragon skin mold captured all of the detail perfectly from our original model, and now it's ready for painting and finishing. Here now is our finished helmet. Smoothcast 57D takes paint beautifully. For this technique, I just applied a dry brush of acrylic paint. Now the reason I chose 57D is for its impact resistance. Now check this out. And here's the helmet. Scratches nothing, cracks nothing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This material is fantastic. I love it.